Looking at right now is a rescue there, but let's turn into the scene where the governor is speaking right now.
Really tragic scenes of a collapsed condominium complex, but I just want to give credit to the search and fire department, the first responders, Miami-Dade County. They were on that scene before we knew whether there would be more collapse. We didn't know whether the building had any structural integrity, and they were shepherding people to safety, and they absolutely saved people's lives. And so we really appreciate all that they have done and that they're continuing to do. I had an opportunity to meet with Mayor Cava and her team, as well as the mayor of Surfside, and we just toured around the complex to be able to see, and the TV doesn't do it justice. I mean, it is really, really traumatic to see the collapse of a massive structure like that. Right now, we have the fire rescue. They are in search and rescue mode. They are trying to identify survivors. I know they have made contact with some, and they're doing everything they can to save lives, and that is ongoing. And they're not going to rest. And so, thanks for what they're doing. We were just over there, got to thank some of the folks who just had to change a shift, but they've really stepped up. We're also making sure that the people that have been displaced have a place to go. We're going to be visiting the center up further north on Collins Avenue after this, but we are happy to report that through the help of the Red Cross, we have short-term hotels set up for these folks, and then obviously we're going to work with the city and the county, state, to make sure that there's any longer-term needs that we can be helpful in any way we can. This is not necessarily going to be immediate in terms of what ended up happening, but I know that they are going to have engineers looking at this to try to identify what happened and what was the problematic occurrence. And so that probably you're not going to have those answers immediately, but I know that they are diligently going to be working to be able to do that. And so it's a tragic day. Some of those folks who were able to go from safety, we thank the fire and rescue for what they did to be able to put themselves on the line to help other folks. They're still hard at work. We still have hope to be able to identify additional survivors. And the state of Florida, we're offering any assistance that we can. We've done some with the Florida Department of Transportation. Miami-Dade's got a great team, and so they've got a lot of resources that they're bringing to bear, but we're standing by to help in any way we can. I'm going to introduce our Director of Emergency Management, Kevin Guthrie. He's going to say a few words. We're also going to hear from Mayor Cava, and then I think, Mayor, you're going to hear from the Mayor of Surfside as well. So, Kevin.
Right. Good afternoon. Kevin Guthrie with the Florida Division of Emergency Management. Just to give you an update on what's going on with state resources, we do have members of the State Emergency Response Team that have been activated and are working this event. They include members from obviously the Chief Financial Officer's office with the State Fire Marshal and ESF 16. That includes individuals from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and our law enforcement resources from ESF 16. It also includes our ESF 8 Health and Medical, as well as our DOT partners. I know Director Dane Eagle is here as well with DEO. So we've got about 5 different state agencies involved right now that are assisting local county and city government on responding to this event. Right now, the biggest ask that's been asked for is traffic control devices from DOT, and DOT is filling those resources right now. Again, we will be here as long as we need to be to continue to assist the local county and municipal government with the needs that they have of us. Thank you.
So this is the incredible, unimaginable situation that none of us could have predicted, but we have the right people on the job. Our team at Miami-Dade Fire Rescue has dealt with collapse situations before. Their dogs are trained. They have been on the scene since they got the call at 1:38 this morning, and they are doing a fantastic job. They were able to rescue so many from the buildings, the intact building, the collapsed building, and really incredible that at this time we've only identified one person as having passed. So we are very, very hopeful. We'll continue the search and rescue operation. We've also evacuated the 2 side buildings, and we're working with Red Cross, with our own social service agency, our police and fire departments to make sure that those people are properly situated. The leadership here of the city mayor has been phenomenal. He's been on the scene since early this morning, as well as neighboring mayors. They've all come to help with their police departments, with their own moral support and presence. Also, this is a predominantly Jewish community, and we've had the rabbis and chaplains on hand. The operation that we'll be visiting in shortly, the community center, people are getting the support that they need. Not only are they getting hotel rooms, they're getting help with their medicines, with blankets, with clothing, because of course there they are with nothing. They were evacuated in the night. Anyone who is looking for a missing loved one, anyone with information, we have a hotline, 305-614-1819. 305-614-1819, and this is how we are going about continuing this operation, with the support of family members. We're also going to be receiving family members. We're going to accommodate them, so stay tuned as well for that. Estamos tan agradecidos por el trabajo increíble.
As the mayor of Miami-Dade County now updates the community in Spanish, we just want to give a little bit of a rundown of what you just heard there from the governor, from the head of the Florida Division of Emergency Management, as well as what Mayor Daniela Levine Cava just said. Governor Ron DeSantis began by thanking those first responders. This is simply incredible work that they are tasked with now, and he wanted to express his gratitude right off the bat. He said he met with both the mayors of Miami-Dade as well as Surfside. They are there with him right now, and I thought it was pretty powerful that the words he said were, TV does not do it justice. This is just traumatic to see. So it is. From the TV screen, it looks traumatic as it is. So for him to say that it doesn't even do it justice, these images that we are conveying to you, it just speaks to the magnitude of this tragedy and what first responders have ahead of them as far as this task is concerned. He says that he was able to thank some of those first responders on the scene. They had a shift change recently because some of them have been out there since 1:30 this morning. So that's going on almost 12 hours of just brutal, hard work for these men and women who are part of these search and rescue operations out there right now in Surfside. So the governor just wanted to make sure to show his appreciation for them. He called this a tragic day, but that they're still hoping to find survivors.
Yeah, and something too that really stood out to me, in addition to that comment, as you mentioned, TV doesn't do it justice, is just the right away letting everyone know we are going to be here to support you, right? They talk about, of course, the Family Reunification Center, but obviously a lot of people now without a home, people trying to get some rest at that reunification center, where we saw emotions are running high, as you can imagine. Oh, real quick, we want to go right back to that press conference. It sounds like they're done in Spanish, and now the mayor of Surfside speaking.
And it was something like I could never believe could happen. It was a complete collapse of the building. I thought maybe a balcony had gone down, but we've got 134 units in that building, I understand, and literally half of that building is not there anymore. So we're working hard. There's not a lot that little Surfside can do except ring the alarm bell, and we rang the alarm bell, and Mayor Cava sent the cavalry, as did the governor. And that has made all the difference in the world. They've got resources like you can't believe here. We've got the dogs, we've got the equipment, and we're going to do our very best to save as many people in that pile of rubble as we possibly can. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Governor. Thank you.
LG, Español.
Yes. Bueno, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Obviamente hoy es un día muy triste para todos nosotros ver lo que ha pasado aquí.
That's Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez now briefing the community once again in Spanish on behalf of the governor's office there. So we are still waiting, perhaps. I'm not sure if we're going to hear from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue as far as any updated numbers. The mayor did say at this point she is still reporting that one death has been confirmed at this point, and that they're still hopeful that there may be some survivors in the rubble. They said that they have all the possible technology and resources on hand thanks to the assistance from the state and other agencies all across the state of Florida. The Florida Division of Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie said that it's the CFO's office, it's the state fire marshal, parts of FDLE, even DOT has been called in for something as simple as helping block traffic, which is so important in this situation as they're trying to keep people and vehicles away from this very active scene that could potentially still be dangerous for anyone just driving by or perhaps trying to get a look at what happened there. And of course, that means it is equally, actually more so dangerous for those fire rescue crews who are there now trying to see what or who they could pull out of the rubble. We had someone from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue earlier say that they use technology and microphones that could pick up a fingernail scratch on concrete. So hopefully they're hearing something that's giving them this hope to continue this search right now.
Yeah, and speaking of that support, everything from Red Cross, we know that a lot of people who are now out of a home will have some sort of a short-term hotel situation set up, and then the state is working with the city to help them with maybe their longer-term needs. Of course, that's going to be looked at. And also something that stood out to me is from what Mayor Cava mentioned, and Lisa mentioned even at the Family Reunification Center, is the strong Jewish community that's out there. We know, in addition to the chaplains on hand, that rabbis have showed out to offer their support, and of course emotional services. That's so important. I even saw on Twitter that the Miami Heat is showing up to help and show their support. It just goes to show you this is just so devastating, right? And hopefully this gives people some sort of glimmer of hope as we continue to learn more about these rescue efforts.
All right, it looks like we're not going to hear from anyone else here at this press conference, though I did see the spokesman for the police department was there, as well as Commissioner Jose Pepe Diaz. So really a joint effort by all different departments and agencies. You see someone on the back of his shirt there, it says chaplain. So not only do the family members over at the Reunification Center perhaps feel like they need to consult with a chaplain and sort of make that connection for this difficult time that they're in, but even just the people responding. These first responders are seeing some pretty awful, horrific things right now. So important to keep those resources on site for them as well. Mayor Daniela Levine Cava just got back yesterday, late last night, because she was in Washington, D.C. for most of the day discussing crime prevention, gun violence in South Florida and across the country, and then to come home to this that happened at 1:30 in the morning. So she says